This is the Becoming Dad podcast where we talk about politics, family, religion, and more. Now let's get into today's headlines. So here we have it again, folks. The car plowed through a crowd of people and, of course, had a major impact. There are currently 10 deceased and many more injured. It's also not even that long ago that we saw this when a Saudi Arabian doctor was arrested after plowing into a crowd at a German Christmas market just right around Christmas time. In New Orleans, a maniac goes ahead and does something like this. Now, a lot of details have already come out. We understand that the car had Texas plates. However, that car was being rented. You can rent your car through an app. Really easy. People come and, pick it up, take it for the day, whatever. Agree to the terms. It's all through the app. No big deal. You can rent out your own car like you can rent out an Airbnb house. And whoever this guy is decided to be committing an act of terrorism. Using this vehicle, driving over state lines, using the vehicle as a weapon. But we don't hear the left freaking out saying we need to ban all cars. We don't hear the left freaking out saying they need to ban anything in the way of how you can rent your vehicles. And we sure as heck don't hear them addressing the border, where this all stems. The incredible belief to allow open borders and not really vet who's coming in is a sickness. Furthermore, in major cities, they do not prosecute criminals any longer. They let them walk free. They lower their bonds. They make it easier and easier to be a criminal. But we have some things to think about, and I want to take a look at this quick clip here.
The NYPD is boosting security in New York City. Also, Chicago police are boosting security in Chicago as well, out of an abundance of caution.
Well, one of the first things they're going to do is look very hard at this attack and its origins to see if it tracks to something that could be global. It could track to chatter that's been picked up by the various agencies online and elsewhere. Does it track to any warnings that have been put out by the FBI, DHS, or any of the federal entities to see if they can target what it is they're trying to prevent? In a general sense, it's stuff that's fairly commonsensical. Big crowds, they're going to make sure that there are barriers in place, bollards to ensure that vehicles can't access that area.
The fact that they go out of their way to try to boost security, I understand in the immediate future, yes, that's what you want to do. You want to boost security and make sure there's barriers in place, help protect the public, allow for them to be out in public and enjoy these Christmas markets, enjoy bringing in the new year. However, this is not the path forward. It's not just boosting security, preventing these things. It's not going to be eliminating vehicles from the roads. It's going to be removing the problematic people. And maybe, just maybe, even pursuing the fact that there is a lot of radicalization taking place online. Now, I'm an advocate for free speech, even speech you don't like and could be offended by. However, I think that it is possible to have certain words that we already omit from society and add to that list. We know now that the suspect, who is now deceased, from the New Year's Eve attack, had affiliations or at least leanings in favor of certain radical groups. If this is coming up, if it's so easy to be on social media and become radicalized, why can't those social media companies take a step to flag that conversation, to say these violate our terms and policies? Because you can get shut down for speaking your mind on otherwise simple topics that should not be offensive. However, you can get taken down for them. In the UK, you can be arrested for saying things on the internet. And it's happening more and more. So why can't we do the same for these obvious groups that are bad? These obvious associations that don't usually lead to anything better. Why can't we take those steps and put some sort of focus there? Here's another little clip I wanted to take a look at here.
Was this vehicle a rented vehicle? Was it a stolen vehicle? What was its genesis? Who owned it? That doesn't mean the person owned it was driving it. It also doesn't mean the person came across the border was also the person, as was just mentioned in your reporting, is the same person who drove the vehicle down the street. So there are a lot of kind of missing parts to this, but it is a significant lead if, in fact, all that turns out to be true.
The ridiculousness of this is that people can't even rent their vehicles now safely. They can't. They can't go and make sure they're a part of this because now you have that risk, that worry that someone's going to use it to commit a crime. And now how are you implicated in that? What responsibility of the app that you're using has on that, right? I don't think it should really be anybody in particular except for the person committing the crime that should be held responsible. Committing this terroristic act on an entire city, running down Berman Street, and not caring who you are going to hit. That's the larger question. That's the real problem. Why are these radicals allowed in the country? Why are they allowed to become radicalized? These are the things that can alter a society. And if we have a society where criminals are held accountable, well, now we can start seeing a decrease in crime. Smaller crimes. Seeing a decrease in smaller crimes, which often lead to the bigger ones, folks. That's how it works. You don't just jump in on the deep end every single time with everything you do. Most people start out in one way or another and take little steps to get to another place. Whether it's building a business, whether it's, building a YouTube channel, it doesn't matter. You start in one area and you work your way up. Same thing with criminals. It's not the right effort. It's not the direction they should be taking in life, but they do the same thing. It's petty larceny. And then it moves up into other horrific crimes, eventually leading to things like this. So if criminals could be held responsible early on, those corrections may be made. You might save someone from a terrible future. But this all stems even further back from there. What is going on in these homes? What is wrong with parents these days? I see it all the time that I am not the parent I want to be. Well, I better figure that out, and I better shape up real quick because my children deserve the best version of me. And any good parent out there should be thinking that. Your purpose, once you have children, should become your family, your children. You can set aside those dreams you had before and move in the right direction to better the life of your family. And in doing so, it will come back to you tenfold. You will better your own life to something you didn't expect, something you weren't planning for at one point, but it will be your purpose. It will be something that has paid off to be so much more important than all those little dreams you thought you had. Little food for thought. Thank you for tuning in today to the Becoming Dad podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I post 5 days a week, so I will see you soon.